What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 18th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESEMO when you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks. You'll receive 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100 on that deposit. We have a 9-game MLB slate starting at 4:05 Eastern on FanDuel. As usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top 3 tournament stacks. Number 3, the Kansas City Royals are taking on Cole Irvin tonight in Oakland. Kansas City's not a particularly good team offensively with a 92 WRC plus and a 132 ISO, but Irvin's not a particularly good pitcher either with a 15.7% strikeout percentage and a 4.32 xFIP. While Kansas City is not a great offense, they do offer some upside here. They have some power in their lineup. You have guys like Salvador Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., guys that certainly can do damage. Whit Merrifield, and then there's also a lot of stolen base upside to these guys. So even though they aren't the best, most productive offense, they do have some power. They do have some speed. They certainly can come through for you in tournaments. They're projected for 2% ownership with a 5% chance of being the top scoring stack and 6% chance of being the top value stack. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays taking on Kyle Bradish tonight in Baltimore. The Rays are projected for 4% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 4% chance of being the top value stack. Bradish has been a decent pitcher overall since coming up to Baltimore. 3.94 xFIP for the right-hander, 22.9% strikeout percentage, but he has also been home run prone, and Tampa Bay gets a positive park shift hitting in Camden Yards. They, as an offense, have a 98 WRC plus and a 131 ISO. And number 1, the San Francisco Giants taking on Jose Quintana tonight in Pittsburgh. The Giants are a kind of risky offense to stack, especially when they're facing left-handed starters, because they typically will run out a starting lineup that has a lot of righties. Then they will pinch hit for said righties. Looking at their lineup today, you have Austin Slater, Wilmer Flores, Darren Ruff all at the top. You have no Jock Peterson in the lineup, no Mike Yastrzemski, guys that are very likely to pinch hit later on in the game. But they're also inexpensive. They have an 11% chance of being the top value stack, 10% chance of being the top scoring stack at 8% ownership. Still like taking my chances there on San Francisco. Quintana so far this year, a 3.97 xFIP with a 20% strikeout percentage. The Giants' active roster, a 167 ISO with a 114 WRC plus. Now looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Kyle Bradish. I mentioned Tampa Bay as an under-owned stack. Bradish projected for 1% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and an 8% chance of being the top value pitcher at $7,600. While Bradish has been home run prone, he has also struck out 22.9% of hitters. The Rays' active roster has a 23% strikeout percentage. Number 2, Brad Keller, not a very good pitcher. 14.2% strikeout percentage this year is absolutely awful. 4.33 xFIP is mediocre, but he does have a good matchup against the A's, who have an 85 WRC plus and a 22.4% strikeout percentage on their active roster. Keller is only projected for 4% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 7% chance of being the top value pitcher at $8,000. And number 1, Aaron Nola, 21% projected ownership, 10% chance of being the top scoring pitcher, 4% chance of being the top value pitcher at $10,200. He's taking on the Washington Nationals, who have a 100 WRC plus and a 19.3% strikeout percentage. 28.7% strikeout percentage for Nola leads the slate. 2.9 xFIP is excellent. The reason that I mentioned him as a top tournament pitcher, even though he is over-owned in terms of ownership projection versus top pitcher percentage, is that he is one of the top projected pitchers on the slate, and he is getting relatively less ownership compared to his top pitcher percentage than Justin Verlander, who's the other top payoff option, top projected pitcher on the slate. So between the two, Nola, his ownership projection is a little bit more appealing than Verlander's. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, Kansas City Royals; number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays; number 1, the San Francisco Giants. The top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Kyle Bradish; number 2, Brad Keller; and number 1, Aaron Nola.